Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're well. Just a few hellos. Hello, Ian Fincham. Well done yesterday. Keith, CG, John Cielo, hello. Imri, hello. Well, hope you're well. John B, Rod, Martinez. So Steve Hook, hello. Your team's on currently. Just won me a little bit of money. Gaz Sutcliffe, hello. Harry Monk, hello. Chris Wilkinson, Jim, Martin, hello again. Neil, Lincoln, told you. Rob G, Mike, hello, mate. Hope you're well. Tim, Paul, Carl, Steve, and anybody else I've missed. Andy Richmond, good afternoon. Well done to Bjarne yesterday. He did get the old over 3.5 in. I told him, never in doubt. Right, going to do a quick heat map. I'm just going to wait for my 12:15 sheet to sync to get the odds, and we're going to run through this. Just while I do that, obviously I get comments when I do these things. You know, it sort of leads on from the question I think Darren asked yesterday about filtering down. All I'm trying to show you is loads of different ways you can approach it. And the key to all this will be you doing what suits you. I know I keep saying these same things, but really you've got to look through it. There'll be bits you go, yeah, I like that, I can do that. So what I show you again today is another way of looking at a period. I'm just going to take the 12:30, 1 o'clock games and run through them. And how you could just do the heat maps. I tend personally to use the heat maps for longer stuff. But this is something that you can use just on a basis. So I'm just going to grab my 12:15 prices. I was just letting them sync so that we know what the most up-to-date prices are. Put that in there, open that up. Afternoon, Ian Randall. Yes, please like and subscribe as always, if you will. I think it's the like. Well, the subscribes mean you won't miss out. The likes are there, and those waiting for the Paderborn prices, can you give me a nudge if you're in here if it gets to 25 past and I've not done anything? Right, so I'm just going to get my sheet sorted. In fact, so that you can see, I'm going to share the screen, so I'm going to show you exactly where we're going. Hang on, if I can get that bit doing. Present, there we go. As always, ask questions. Share screen, won't keep you too long today. Ian's second. Share. Right, so this is today's games in effect. So I'm going to do exactly the same as I did in the last live. I'm just going to filter to 12:30 and 1 o'clock there for the minute. And that gives us a list of games to look at. I'm then going to go to my, we'll do the halftime XG in a minute. I'm just going to go to the 6-game XG. Oh, no, that's season. I've learned how to use the mouse by now. 6-game match XG, and I'm going to take anything out that's under 2.76. So that's going to leave us 4 games there by the looks of. So that's left us 4 games, Hertha Berlin and Magdeburg at 12:30 to try and speed through them. And then the 1 o'clock, we've got Racing Santander and Fenerbahce. I'm then going to pop to the odds, which we've got here. I'm just going to hide all that because I'm not going to use it. Hide that. I'll just I'll keep a few of the odds up for the minute. I'm going to keep the halftime XG because I want that in a minute. Hide. And I'm going to keep the match XG that we've got. And that's all I'm going to use. So again, all I've done at the minute is 2 filters. 1 filter currently, the over 2.76 in the 6-game match XG, and I'm just going to take that Racing Santander game out because it's over 2 for 2.5 currently. I will have a look at it in a minute, but that leaves me 3 games. So I've got 3 games: Hertha Berlin, Magdeburg, over 2.5 is 1.7, 1.56. First half goals 1.33, 1.29. And we can go to our heat map generator, which is on FTS Advanced. I'm going to set the 6-game match XG, the same as what I've set. So I'm going to go 2.76. I'm just going to put 1,000 as the top number. I want to include everything. And the first market I'm going to look at is the back over 2.5. We'll do 2.5 and then we'll do some first half goals. But on the match XG, I'm going to look at the 2.5. And that will quickly run. If people haven't seen that, you'll see, you may be able to work out if I make it a bit bigger when it's finished. It's processing through all the games here. You get a match count down here, and that's just running through all the games as we go. I have got, and I did this yesterday, gave you, Mark gave you Peterborough, Antwerp first half goal as well, late first half. If you want Antwerp for a first half goal, sort of 20 minutes in, I'm just going to make this a bit bigger over there. And what this does now, that basically runs through the database. So we've got a database on the front of 30-odd thousand games, and it runs through that database, breaks everything into odds brackets. And all this is basically saying is when I've got that XG greater than 2.76, what happens in the over 2.5 market, and I can look at the odds brackets here. So German Bundesliga 2, those games are in. You can see up to sort of odds of 2.1. It's really quite profitable. It's won 33 points, and all I'm going to do first is click a report on that. And that's one of the joys of this sheet, is it gives you a report and graph, so you can see that did all that profit happen in 2020 and when it's been shit since, or is it just been a steady performance over time? Hello, Daniel. Up against the Kosh, 21 minutes to go. And you can see we've won. I would have won 33 points in 449 games, so it did have a steep ride. Then it had a long-standing still period, and this is always going to happen in football betting. These are fixed odds, by the way. Remember, this is always going to happen. You're never ever going to have a fixed odds betting system that doesn't do this. You know, that time it's nearly a year, April 22 through to March 23. It's practically done nothing, just stayed still, big dip, and then another big rise, and then we're in a sort of standstill period there. So if you were betting these, you'd have won about 7%. Just betting them. It's got all the monthly breakdowns and everything there that you would have won. Just been a steady climb, but you can see for the last few months it's pretty much done nothing, just stood on its own. But I'm not going to bet them. I'm going to trade them. I'm just going to go back to my analysis and have a quick look. And what I want is my rolling master sheet. So we're looking at 2 games, and we've got over 2.5 odds of 1.7 and 1.56. I'm going to go to my heat map generator. So they fall in this area here, and again, so you see how I grabbed a lot, I grabbed a load, but in effect those games fall there. But I don't want to just, I'm going to just pick one sell. I've said about this many times. I certainly would pick an absolute minimum 3, but I actually just grabbed the lot, and we've got a couple of losing ones in there. I just want an overall performance, and you can see that this market over 2.5 in the German Bundesliga 2, when you've got greater than 2.76 XG and you've got less than odds on over 2.5, you make money. It makes money fixed odds. That would be a game that we will put on the old trading list. So I'm going to grab both those there. Here, I'm going to grab both those, copy, put them down here out the way, paste. You can just do it on the same sheet as you're about, and I'm just going to put in there over 2.5. I'm not too fussed about missing kickoff because I don't want to enter at 1.7 or 1.56. If there's an early goal, fair enough, we'll miss it. And then I'm just going to check the Turkey game. That's over 2.5, 1.44. So I go back here. I'm going to scroll down to Turkey, and you can see short odds on in Turkey. So if I go up to 2, there, it only wins 3 points. There's actually only one really big profitable band. So the game in Turkey, I'm not going to bother running the report. It's just nothing there that, again, I say I look for stuff that stands out a bit. I look at that and go, no, thank you. This is where the difference between probably me and a lot of you guys is people, let's say those odds were 1.93, people look and go, well, there's 2 sections there, that wins, I'll do that. I'm trying to look broad across the whole league and that market. And I tend to focus on below 2 or greater than 2, so that we can see it. It's 12:23, Paderborn. Right, okay. I just need to keep an eye on that Paderborn price for 2 minutes. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to stop that screen. Any questions on that? I'm going to run the first half quickly. I'm just going to set that up. I just want to cover this Paderborn game. I'm going to wait literally 1 minute and I'll be back with you. These are the bits where I'm a bit anal. See, I do this to the exact second, so I just have to wait a second. Just have to wait till it gets to 12:25. This is what I was talking about in Live Trading 21 when I said people go, oh, it's around the price. I've got a couple on right borderline prices, whether I get involved or not. Bum, 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 bum. $12.25, there we go, done. Right, I'll come back with you lot now. Okay, right. VDV, yes. Destiny, no. Right, hold on. Let me just mark that up there. Great. And yellow. Right, Harry, I'm just marking my sheet up. Right, I'll be with you. Two ticks. Plus on 6 game gold market showing negative for me. Doesn't put you off. No, again, that's now where you'll get into sort of if you want to cross reference and that puts you off, that's fine. What I can tend to find, I can find a reason a bit of it, then I can find a reason not to better than if we open multiple sheets. I'm not looking to win that market over 2.5. All I'm looking at is to trade it and trade on pretty much a goal. So I'm using a heat map method where we're really strong in those odds brackets with that number, which is slightly different from the mega table approach I showed yesterday. As I say, I'm showing loads of different approach, and I think the hard bit for you guys, and I don't really have a solution to it, is you've got to do what sheets suit you, what approach suits you, and go and stick at it. And as I say, try and do 100 days, and that's it. Not dive in from one sheet to the other or whatever. When you do things like this, I literally am just trying to show ways you can use the stuff. I'm just going to go back to this here. New, share. I've got it. Hopefully you can all see that big enough. And I'm going to go back to my settings. I'm going to go back to my rolling master. And I'm just going to clear it for the minute. We've got those 2 down there. And I'm just going to go to my... Again, I'm not too worried about missing kickoff as long as I've got the prices. I'm okay. 12:30, 1 o'clock. And this time I'm just going to look at the halftime XG, and I'm going to go greater than 1.5. So again, I'm going to end up with 4 games by the looks of. And I've got Antwerp. I've already given you that as a late first half goal, but we'll have a look in a minute. We've got Hertha Berlin. We've got that Santander game. So now I'm not really now I'm not really interested in this 2.5 odds for a minute on Santander. I'm going to have a look at the first half goal market, just based on XG and the first half goal odds. So, whilst most of the games I play are odds on over 2.5, I'm going to have a look at that one. And we've got that for that Archie game again. So I'm going to go back to my heat map, and all I'm going to do now is change this here to 6 game, if I can, 6 game 1 point XG, change it to 1.5. And I'm going to look first at the first half 0.5 market. So it's just going to spin through all the games now that have got a 6 match XG in the first half of greater than 1.5. It's going to look at the odds brackets, takes 30 seconds to run. Evening, Neil D, Paul Segar, hello. Don't forget to like. Now, just quick in while this is running. Go, hit like, come back again. Click on sell. And again, look, German Bundesliga 2. Look at this. Look at this for first half goals. 78 bets. It tells you what you got. 10%. So I don't even need to run a report. There's one small losing sell and that's one bet. So across there, you've got 41, 178. 220, 280 bets across there, making nice profit. So I like that. So now we're already backing up our over 2.5 in Bundesliga 2, where we got a good first half XG. The other one was Turkey, wasn't it? Belgium. Let's just have a look at Belgium. Again, Belgium. I've given you a late first half goal at Belgium. That was someone else, another method of mine, but you can see again, profitable. And the other one was Turkey. And Turkey can get in the bin. I'm not a massive fan of betting in Turkey. I've said this many times. It's not my favourite place to have a bet. It's the only league that I do think they're a little bit bent. Probably shouldn't say that loud, should I? There we go. I have now. But what I'm also going to do, I'm just going to need to fly over here. If you just bear with me, because on my sheet here, I do not have the first half 1.5 odds, but I'm just going to grab them quickly off my little screen here. I've got a little screen that captures the odds. What game is it? Hertha Berlin. Let me just see what game price the first half 1.5 odds were. First half 1.5 or 2.5. So I'm going to go back to my heat map here. I like the first half goal. In fact, let's just put that on the sheet here. We like that Hertha Berlin first half goal. I like the outwork one. I'll just put that up, grab that. I've already given you this late first half goal, 25 minutes, Control V. First half goal. I'm not fussed about, I mean, this was short, you know, it was 1.6 pre-match. So I'm not that fussed about it. This one was 1 point. So I'm not, you know, happy waiting. The game's kicked off. Bent leagues, nah. There he is, my old mucker. And Fenerbahce, no. But what I'm going to do on my heat map now is run the first half 1.5 as well. So exactly the same settings, but I'm just going to run the first half 1.5. So I want to back over 1.5 first half goals. Remember, this is fixed odds. Again, I'm controlling when I enter, when I exit by trading the market. And I'm not saying there's going to be one goal or 1.5 or 2.5. I'm saying the numbers point to these markets being profitable when we've got this profile, and I can get in and trade around those prices and quite often trade around just one goal. If an early goal goes in, I'm not going to jump up and down and go, I missed a chance. Click OK. Right, so we've got 2.5 is the German game. So German Bundesliga 2, back over 1.5 goals here. Look, profit, 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 profit. Lovely. Let's just run a quick report. Let's just have a quick look, see what it looks like. Apologies if it's quick. I'm doing my own stuff while I'm doing this and diving about from screen to screen. And you can see that report again. All these jigs and jags, good spell there, peak there. Again, we're in a bit of a level period, but 8-10% ROI if you were doing every bet. Set and forget. You know, you cannot do it. I can say it 100 billion times. It doesn't matter to a lot of you because you give up after 2 losing bits anyway. But you cannot beat this stuff. You cannot beat the path that these are going to take over time. And if you can't accept that, you are better packing up and going spending your Sundays at a car boot sale buying old telephones for 50p. There you go. Right. So I'm going to go back there. So that's 2.42 to 3.1 for that game. And I'm going to put it in here. First half 1.5. So now all of a sudden in Hertha Berlin, we've got 3 markets showing. So I'm going to play a late first half goal here. First half 1.5. So that would be where I would start. I don't need to worry about the 2.5 for the minute. That's lower odds. I can get in here. It was 2.5. I can drip in the first half 1.5. I've talked about this method numerous times. Drip in the first half 1.5. Cover with a late first half goal. You know, we've got profit areas here at these odds, profit areas here, profit areas here. If it ends 0-0, it ends 0-0. But I can drip in the first half 1.5. Cover when first half 0.5 gets to, you know, 2.0x. You can go a bit later if you want to, 3.0x. Try and level it out. Depends what price you enter the first half 1.5. If you're really keen on getting in and you want to get in now, you drip in 10 minutes. I'd cover the 2. If you're going to wait for the first half 1.5 price to go up a bit and enter around sort of 4-5 upwards, you can wait a bit longer for your cover bet and get in about 3. You've got to decide what suits you. If you're somebody who gets upset when early goals go in because you're missing chances, get in now, cover at 2. If you're somebody who likes, you know, don't mind missing games and like getting in at bigger prices, which is more my approach, then you can cover at 3. You've got to decide what you want to do. What do you do exactly? What I do may not suit what you do. I've proven that over time with people. And Magdeburg, which was the same. Magdeburg's not in there. I wanted to look at this Racing Santander game. So the Racing Santander game is 2.16, but 1.45. So I'm just going to grab, that's a 1 o'clock kickoff. So we've got a bit of time. Just going to grab the first half 1.5 price for that. Ask any questions if I'm losing anybody. I'll go at my speed. Football, I just want to grab a Racing Santander, first half 1.5, second, there we go. Right, so that's 3.3 to start. So I'm going to go back to my heat map generator. If I just settings, so it's still over 1.5. I've got no other interest in anything other than it's over 1.5. First up, I was for the Racing Santander game. I'm going to go to the analysis. I'm going to go to Segunda there. And the odds are 3 point. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Andrew. The odds for over 1.5 first half goals are 3.3. So we're up the other end of the sheet. I just need to do a little bit of a shift. And look at this here. Look at this here. Look at this. Let's go from 3 upwards. So 3 upwards and just grab those there. 26 looks free. Always profitable. Let's do a quick report and have a look. I'm going to talk you through this game because I don't know what it's going to be like for a first half goal. What I really wanted one isn't great for a first half goal, but was good for first half 1.5. But they do tend to fall in sync, but sometimes the odds are out. On this market, you can get some good. Let's just have a quick look. Same old picture, but look at this. See, it's a slow start, accelerate, stand still, accelerate. It's in a good period at the minute, jumping up. 74 bets, that's all, but 26 points in 74 bets back in over 1.5 first half goals when you've got a first half 6-game XG greater than 1.5 and the price is between 3 and 3.7 in effect. So we're going to go back to our rolling master. I'm going to whack that game there. I'm not looking at Turkey, can't be doing with it. I'm going to whack that game down there like that. Control and G. I'm going to go first half 1.5, and the only thing I need to check then is the 0.5. So I'm going to go back to my settings, run them exactly the same for the 0.5. You can watch these back, take notes in your Rocket book. This is everybody. I'm going to say this so often over the next 6-8 months doing these. You all make it far too fucking difficult. This is how simple it can be. And if you have 4 or 5 games and you don't win on, but you will have more winning sessions doing this than you will doing a lot of what you guys do and what I see. I click complete. So that just again, now I'm just going to go and check. So the odds on the first half 1.5 was 1.45. Go back to my heat map generator. Obviously, we got Spanish Segunda. So we're in here again. And you can see, look at it. There's only one losing area, and that's when they're really short, and that's been 2 bets. But everything else in Segunda, the league that doesn't generate goals, doesn't need to generate goals. It needs to win at the prices. That's the difference. Oh, I don't do Segunda. There's no goals. If the prices are right, I'll do any league that's going if we can get in. So that automatically will go into first half goal, FHG. Now, all I'll do with that one, for me personally, again, I'll enter a bit later. We do know that it is a lower scoring league and we're not going to win as often, but we've proven we made money. But I will just offset that in my head mentally by entering a bit later. So I'll enter at sort of 5, 8, 10 and I'll get a great trade on 1 goal. The German ones, I probably want to be in a bit earlier because there's more, they strike rates higher. So those you want to be in a bit earlier. And that's the sort of skills you learn in how to play different leagues, but the more you do it. But the approach to those trades there, bar the Antwerp one, which is the same for that, but I gave it to you earlier, is exactly the same. Heat maps, Poisson numbers, odds brackets, pull out a strategy. So a moment, Magdeburg dripping in over 2.5. I'd start from about 1.8, 1.8 to 2.2, average around even money. Can trade on the goals. If a goal goes in, you can leave it till you get back to your entry. You can green up. You can do whatever you wish that suits you. I've talked about all this stuff. You'll find it on YouTubes. You'll find it on podcasts. These 2 games, the Antwerp game, I don't get involved early. I'm going to enter 25 minutes onwards, around about 2.0 upwards, drip it in 25 to 35. These 2 games, I'm going to back first half 1.5 and cover with a first half goal. If the Hertha game gets 0-0 at half time, I don't know the scores, I haven't got the scores up, then we know the over 2.5. I'd probably play the 1.5 and 2.5 at half time. 2.5, I'd lay the unders really low, and I'd back the 1.5 2 ahead at half time, which will be around even money. Again, I'd drip in from 45 to 55 minutes, trade on the goal that goes in. And even just doing that sometimes, you might lose here, but you minimise that loss here. Obviously, as I say, if it ends 0-0, you can't do anything, and you will get games that end 0-0. But it's just common sense, logical, good numbers behind it. good processes behind it. It can all be done very simply. And again, I've just picked a time slot, 12:30, 1 o'clock. Right, any questions? Let's see the scores. I've no idea what the scores are. Get my favourite little Football 24 up. And you've got Germany Bundesliga ticked. There we go. Right, they're all 0-0. There we go. I haven't got Segunda ticked either. So on Football 24, all I do is change leagues and I click my leagues. So Antwerp's 10 minutes in. As I say, that'd be late first half goal. Hertha dripping in the first half, 1.5. How do you use which tool you'll use, or is it a combination of more than one? Does it vary on the method? I've got, as I've shown, like I got a method yesterday with the mega table, a method here with the heat map. I tend to use personally the mega table more than the heat map. I was just showing a way you can use the heat map to do it. My advice to all of you would be to pick one or two things and really give them a good go, stick at it. So if you were going to use this, do this, doing that 100 days on the trot actually becomes difficult for most people. Just sitting there and going, I'm going to pick a time slot and I'm going to do a couple of hours and I'm going to go the games and I'm going to go through it. And you don't change the time slot then, because then you end up doing it like there. That could have genuinely shown nothing. Whether people even run that at all, I just thought I can do 12:30ish today. And I have no idea what's going to come up when I sit down and do these sessions. I didn't get the odds till 12:15. So I just get it, run it, and that's it. But what people do, that didn't come up. All right, I'll do 4 to 6, and then I'll do 6 to 8, and eventually you'll find something. But I get a lot of what you do if you haven't got a lot of time, and I'm just trying to show people that there's ways to do this if you haven't got a bit of time. Just by putting, that took me half hour. We've been doing this, been talking a bit, checking some other bits. So it took me 20-25 minutes. So you could sit down for an hour and do this sort of stuff, and you'd be set and go, right, that's what I'm going to trade. And you have to accept the results that go. But most people go, well, that didn't work, so I'm going to do something else now. Do it for 100 days. I guarantee if you do it for 100 days, you'll come out with a profit at the end of it. Absolutely guarantee it. But barely anybody gets to 100 days. Barely anybody gets to a week, to be honest. I think Kerry said she's not in here today. I think we had our shortest ever beginner membership. One game and then asked for his refund. Absolutely fine. That's what you want to do. You're never ever going to win. You're never ever in a million years going to win anything. I've had bad spells. Of course, we sit and have bad spells. I openly published a few years ago. I lost 20 grand in October. But I just sit and do the same thing. Do I risk the same amount for a first half goal bet as you do? Yeah, that's exactly it. Just drip a point in. So if you're doing both these, you might just want to drip half a point, and you might want to do just half a point on first half, 1.5, half a point on first. I do a point on each. I like this bet. This is one of my favourite bets in football. Particularly entering a bit later. I don't like to see early goals. I like to see the goals 20-25 minutes onwards. I've got methods for early goals, which I've talked about. But no, perhaps we'll do a thing on them. I've got Leeds game. I want an early first half goal, but my method there is I back it with a view that I'm only going to lose a point. So if it's 0-0 by 20 minutes, I do the alternative. I get out of that game then to only lose a point. So if a goal comes after 25 minutes, I've lost my point. So I have different methods that I use. So that Leeds game, I backed a goal before kickoff in the first half with a view that I'm only going to lose a point on it. But what I did was lay the unders. And then I would have backed the overs halfway through the half if there wasn't a goal, just to make sure I only lost a point, as opposed to losing 3 or 4 points laying the unders. But that's all just comes from the information I've got in front of me. And as I say, there's a lot more that we'll be sharing with you over time. I'm just, these sort of 20-30 sessions were just, the methods don't really change. I don't change the way I bet first half 1.5. I just do the same things, but it's how I find the games. And here we go. Here's Imri, who is becoming one of my favourite FTS members. I did the same thing for a year. The result is amazing. And that is the problem with that comment there. That is the crux of my frustration dealing with people. day in, day out. It's very few people can do what Imre did. And Kevin Kelly, you know, made a video of that. I mean, the Kevin Kelly method, we just called it that. The Kevin Kelly, I showed him basically how to use the heat maps. This is how you use the heat maps. This is how you could do it. On that heat map, we've got a home win setting. There, settings, sorry. I showed him that. Kevin just decided to do it consistently for 700, 800 days. Read Kevin's newsletter testimonial from a few weeks back. Just does the same thing. He had a loser yesterday, but where it used to bother him now, he's just immune to it and just do the same thing. And the people who have success are the people who do the same thing. Andy's in it. I don't think Andy has a bad day at the racing and then goes, well, I'm going to change it all today. I'm going to do something different. I've seen Peter Webb do that, or so-and-so do that. But that's what I just run around doing. And all I'm trying to show you is there's loads of different ways to make money. It really isn't as difficult as people think it is. It is just doing the same thing, finding what suits you and then repeating it and accepting it doesn't matter what way we do it, we're going to have graphs that do that. I had a really good day yesterday. I had a fantastic day yesterday, but December was pretty dry. You know, it's just how it goes. I look at it and go, well, December wasn't great, and then in 2 days you win it all back and a bit more. No, but people will watch it. There'll be people who tune into these and go, oh, well, you know, it's all 0-0 at the minute. You put those up, they're all 0-0. That ain't no good. I talk about all this stuff. I can't force you to do it. No, I can't put guns to your heads and say, do it. But it is exactly, it's all the things that we talk about. You know, Tim, getting the bank set up. You know, there's just so much, all that side of it. But this is simple to operate. And we've done it all for you. You know, it takes, you know, I know people like to go off and build their own things, but I'm a great one. One of the best bits of advice I was given was, and genuinely, was JG said to me, why'd you bother doing it yourself if you get somebody? Your time's better spent doing what you do. So to pay Chris to build that sheet and for you guys to pay whatever it is, 100 odd quid for it, it's done. Once you've got it, you've got it. And you can use it forevermore. Rather than people go, oh, taking 4 days to learn Excel. I don't want to learn Excel. I just want to bet on football. I want to be able to get this info out as quickly as I can and bet on football. That's what I'm good at. That's what I want to spend my time. Chris, I want an Excel sheet that does that. Alistair, if he's in there, Alistair, this is what I want to do. This is the data I want out. Look at this. Same for me. Been doing a system since August 22. Stands as 120 points as of yesterday. Brilliant. Love it. I absolutely love it. Fantastic. Get that one back up so people can see the old. Make it a bit bigger. You know, I definitely think, you know, the one thing I will say, definitely, I kind of lump everybody together. I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm in my own room, on my own, talking to a screen. But definitely seen over the last 12 months much better performance from people on FTS, as in a percentage wise. There's 15-20% now actually get it and are doing it properly. But I'm greedy. I want 70-80% doing it. I might be an absolute million miles away, but that's all we try and do. Andy with the newsletter, Mark with his stuff, anybody who helps out on FTS. That's, you know, Alistair, we've all got that goal. There's no agenda with it, as people accuse you of. It's just, but we can't do it for you. You know, we could bet for you. That doesn't solve it. You've got to learn alongside that. You know, all these things, you've just got to ultimately decide, what do you want to do? Why are you doing it? Bang on. Right, let's have some goals now. Well, no, about 5 minutes would be handy. I like about 20-25 minutes, and then you've got 20 minutes left. So if this is a daft question, I understand backing and laying, but I don't understand betting on the first half goal and laying the unders. Okay, so obviously I can do one or two things, a camera and a paintbrush, great name. I could back over 0.5 first half goal, so I can back it where the odds are going to be about 1.3. And I can lay under 0.5 first half goals, where I'm going to be laying odds of 4-5, goal at Antwerp. There you go, 1-0. Told you there'd be a goal. Just 6 minutes too early, you Belgian fuckers. So I can lay lay the unders or back the overs. So the method I talked about with leads, I lay the unders. So I lay at odds of, let's say, 4. And then obviously as time goes on, the unders price will come down. I would then back that then at back under 0.5 at 2, but for double my stake, and that levels me out so I can only lose a point. So I play that market that way as opposed to backing overs, where the first half 1.5 I'll back overs, and when I enter late I'll back overs. Just my little quirks of doing things, but I just that bet, if I'm in before, I just lay the unders rather than back the overs, and then I exit for a point. It's just for me it just makes exiting a bit easier, because I want to get out of the bet. I can watch the market and get my money matched a bit quicker. That's just years of doing it and learning it. But backing the overs is the same as laying the unders. It's just whatever side of the market you choose to wish to play, and I tend to do a bit of both. Late goals I nearly always lay. You know, when I'm doing my goals 80 minutes on, I tend to always lay the unders as opposed to back the overs. Oh, let me have a look at that. Actually, we got. Let's have a look at that U-trick game. Oh, I've got another little toy. I've got a new little toy that we'll introduce you to one day. I just need to. Nothing there. Nothing there. Just got a little toy up, but there's not many games. There's nothing in Dutch. I was just looking to see if we had anything late in that Dutch game, but no, there's no value, as there rarely is in the Dutch Eredivisie, where the whole world expects goals. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's another goal, but it's all about doing it at the right price. All right, so we'll just sit and meander through these till half time, and then I'll let you go and have your Sunday chicken or lamb or pork or whatever you're having. I'm not on roast duty today. My draw at Sheffield United for the old newsletter. 49ers prevailed last night. Very squeaky bum that was. Didn't think they were going to do it. Mr. Richmond's Green Bay put up a stout performance. Good game tonight, Bills Chiefs. If you like your NFL, it'll be a good game tonight. Detroit will win the other one, but the Bills Chiefs will be a good game. It looks like my man. Hi, Pedro. Looks like my man Maronk finished second, didn't he, in the golf? Fair play to old Rory winning that. As I said in the Golf Telegram room, if you do want to run for your money in Europe, that Maronk is becoming a boy who will give you a run for your money. Hertha Berlin. Got any questions? Feel free. I'm just doing a couple of bits, checking. Too low for me, Carl. Yeah. I did just have a quick look at that. That's one of the things I popped off to have a look at to see if there was anything in the second half there, but no, it all looks a little bit too low for me. And there's again, we come back to sort of rules. My absolute minimum is 20 games. That's my absolute minimum. I like more than that. But it's one of those scenarios. There's not much going on, not many goals where people run it and go 90, 19 games. Well, I'll play it anyway. They're all the little things that will cost you money over time. You know, it's what I said about yesterday. The beginner, if the rules are beginner are 1.7 and you're going to enter at 1.72, then you might as well not have rules. You know, I've got some hard, fast rules that I just will not break. It doesn't matter what's going on. And that's, you know, once you get, again, it's another mental hurdle. It's nothing to do with how you bet. That's just a mental hurdle to get over, that there are days when you sit here and can do nothing. And you have to accept that you haven't been wasting your time. All the time you're learning and all the time you're disciplining yourself. 97 watching, 42 likes. Thank you, Mr. Richmond. Come on. We're gonna run a like or you're out policy. I need Kerry on the door. I can't remember. Is this lot's first game back? I can't remember seeing. Did this lot play last week? Bundesliga 2? I don't think they did they? Not a lot. Oh, Germans after Christmas, they just don't pack up, don't they? You know, too much sitting around in the lederhose and drinking beer. They need to get out and get some shooting practice going. Leeds v Preston. Let's have a look at that game. Hold on a second. Far there. Very good. Very good, son. My brother, that was. My brother labelled me with that. Yeah, got some record. If you go through the old newsletter tips, old Mr. Richmond for draws, it's like 6 out of the last 8, something like that. I'll make some inroads there today with my voice. So Herder Berlin is just evening afternoon, Mark. I thought you'd been doing other stuff, Mark. I thought you'd been looking after your group. Herder Berlin's just tipped over. Sorry, little private joke. Herder Berlin's just tipped over 2.0 for first half goal, 0.5. If anybody's done the 1.5 and is now looking for cover. See, you give up your time to do YouTubes, then this is how you get treated. Rocketbook, well done, Sam. They're the kiddies, son. They are the way forward. Life changing. If you're a pen and paper man, I'll be tipping Luton at Man City by the end of the season. Hail Mary. I think we might both be. Got great hopes for this today. Sheffield United, West Ham. Back a few draws, sneak in front. Well, the German Bundesliga 2 is exciting, isn't it? Three 1-1s. There's 7 games in play. There's on my thing. There's 3 1-1s, 3 0-0s, and a 1-0 to Antwerp. Here he is. Here he is, the boy. That's quite correct. I'm doing the advertising. Honestly, I'll cut you in. Sky. If you're watching the golf on Sky, that must be unbearable with McIlroy. It's the only thing I can't bear about him winning is they basically try and shag him all the way around, don't they? Come to the Bundesliga too. It's super exciting. It all kicks off in 35 minutes onwards. I'm doing who was it yesterday? Imri with his over 1.5 at Bochum. 42, 43 minutes. That's what we're looking for. Parade in the Cup by Easter Sunday. That's a big shout. We'll see, son. Not when I get my little mate to hold that sheet back a bit longer on a Friday morning. Yeah, I do. I do watch the golf on mute. I just can't bear them. I can't. It's absolutely just drives me nuts. I'll guarantee you they'll have bigged him up winning the Masters almost certainly. Good player, but I say it here, he'll never win the Masters. There you go. $11:30, the Niners will be there. Andrew will be there. I fell asleep watching the Baltimore game and then woke back up. Paderborn have scored. Right, this is it. See, that'll open the floodgates for all the others. Send a message to Magdeburg and Hertha, and off we go. There's probably a few watch this YouTube on mute. See, our Scottish boys went through yesterday, didn't they? Motherwell and Hibernian didn't leave us, didn't do us any comic favours. Hertha Berlin, there you go. Hertha Berlin, first half goal. What did I tell you? 30 odd minutes. I can't help you anymore. I genuinely can't. I cannot help you any more than I do. It's time that the solution is you need to, when you go off here, and think about how you help yourselves. And I don't mean that big-headedly or nastily. We sit here and we do this. Help me to help you. Help yourself. Little yellow one there. That was a little one there. Green there. So you're either profited or you're free rolling. And one thing with this first half goal method, I say this every single time, and I'm going to keep saying it. If you are in the first half 1.5 and you get your first half goal bet in, and then the goal goes in, if you do anything with your 1.5, you are a complete and utter bellend. That's paid for. Now this is paid for. Now you've got a free run at nice profit. That's the difference between winning big, making lots of money, and chugging along like a little sparrow. I've got a free ride, a free hit now at 1.5. Magdeburg, they'll get going in a minute. Good thing with a 2.5 bet, it's not over at half time. They can score three in the second half. What do you do in the situation where you have only half your cover bet on? So if you've only got half your cover bet on and you can't remove your liability, then that's what you got to try and do. You got to try and get it now into a no-loss situation. Gerard, to try and take out some money out your first half 1.5 that will leave you in a, try and get it as close to no loss as possible, and the profit coming on the second goal. And there's just situations that will happen, you know, depending on the time of goals and when bets go in. But what you don't want to do is leave yourself exposed having got the goal where, oh, I lose everything. So you've won half of it back. So now either green it up or just get rid of that other half. Again, this is what I call tradecraft. This is just learning different things over time. You know, like I say, with that situation there, if all these four are in play, you'd manage it as you go. We've got Santander kicking off now, by the way. I've no idea. See, I can't see. If you haven't liked it, disappear. I'm sure there's people just coming in to cause trouble and have a look anyway. There you go. We've got the old stalwart Santander goal. There you go. See, all a bit too early for me. I wasn't in. No goals in Spain too. Yeah, I wasn't in. I didn't. I hadn't entered that. There you go. There's a little green there. Goal. Just tick them off as we go. Another little one at Hertha Berlin. A little Düsseldorfy goal would be nice. Let's just have a little in play and check what happened at PSV. No, still. Loads of people have done their bollocks at PSV. See, I know, you know, when you do this long enough, you look, I guarantee you there's loads of people who've done their bollocks at PSV late on trying to get a goal. Because it's the Dutch league, it's always goals in Holland. Can't hit 1-1. PSV will go on and win it. There was absolutely zero value in any of those prices at any time. Leeds 1-1. Paul Morrison. See, so if you're in at Santander, you'd have been backing around, what, 3.3, something like that, was it? 3.3, 3.4. Getting out now at 1.59. Well done if you were on. Bonnie Rig Rose one. See, old. What a name of a team. See, that's more, when you put that up, I think it's more of a horse. I think you're talking about the 240 at Air. And it's been a lovely weekend. I've had a lovely weekend. No handball, and I've had a lovely weekend. Well, a good few quid. Had a laugh. It's 49 as one. It's been a great weekend. $3.3, and there you go, see. Yeah, I keep records and graph everything. So I'm running. I mean, I don't start graphs till you've got, 300-400 bets, because they don't mean anything, a graph from day one. But once you've done the same thing for 300-400 times, then graph it and see how it runs out. It's just a visualization. I've done pods on this huge. It's just that for me, I don't pay a lot of attention to where the graph is. It's more just the visualization, and you can look when you're having a standstill period and go, well, it's done that before. And there isn't a graph. And if anybody show you, I mean, I've got something I'm doing at the minute, which is just phenomenal. And it is like that, genuinely like that. And, but I've only been doing it 4 months, and it's been incredible. Now I can't for the life of me, think it's ever going to continue like that. It's got to have a period like that, but you just get to visualize it. But people are looking for that sort of graph all the time, and if it's not like that, then they bin it and go and do something else. And all the graphs I show you those peaks and troughs. A lot of standstill periods betting football. No matter what anybody tells you, you do have a lot of standstill periods where you just bob up and down and don't do anything, and then all of a sudden it takes off, and it dips down a little bit, then it stays still, but then it takes off. And you just got to stay in the game to get to the takeoff periods. I mean, this thing at the moment's taken off like a rocket. Long may it continue. That's all I use graphs for, really. I like to know what my risk reward is before I enter, so I know exactly when I'm going to enter, how I'm going to play it, what I'm going to do, which is the sort of stuff we talk about. I like to know what the biggest drawdown is, because that's how I can set my bank, and what's it done historically, and then I treble it, quadruple it, so that I know, well, just because we've seen it with a beginner, it's lost 24 points and it went to 27. Somebody said, should we change the system? No, just because it's lost 24 points in the past doesn't mean that's the maximum it can lose. I double that, treble. That's why we have things like 100 points bank. It could certainly, that we can pretty much plot what our longest losing runs are going to be. Mathematically, you can use logarithms and do it. And I'll put that table on the website somewhere to do that. But that's the stuff I like to know. What's my potential downside? What run of bets can I expect? And then that's how you bet. If you're betting at 10, you're going to have huge losing runs if you're average odds, and they're going to be really common, and people just aren't prepared for it. I've lowered my betting over the years to bet down round about even money because it suits me better, and my losing runs then tend to be 8-10 bets. But all that stuff I use to set myself up. I don't, I'm not thinking about it when I'm doing the mechanics of what I'm doing. Goal at Antwerp, 2, see? I think a lot of the stuff I've talked about, particularly just these last 2 sessions, is people doubt the information behind it. They think it's harder. They doubt the numbers. They doubt the 2.76, but it just plays out. I've done YouTube, certainly somewhere, where I've shown you that where we predict more goals in a game using our models, there are more goals in those games. It's absolute fact, absolute nailed on fact. So that's where I focus. But I think people doubt that because they do it for 2-3 weeks. I did over 2.76 and found 2 0-0s, and they think the world's ended. You've just got to be in it. You've just got to be in it long enough. I say to the lads who I work closely with, you see anything. We laid over 3.5 goals last year. So again, certain things stick in your mind. Laid over 3.5, and it was 0-0 on 90 minutes, and I lost the bet. That was in Germany, and it finished 2-2. And you look at it, you got Football 24. That's I do it all the time. Well, that's in the bag, or that's a loser. I like sort of look at that Hertha game now. Go, there won't be another goal there. I do that all the time. That's just natural. There won't be another one there. I'd written off Lille last week and got 2 goals. But you see everything. There's no goal whispering about it. You just, as you do it, you just become immune to it because you see everything. Anything can happen at any time. And that's why I say I'm never ever predicting goals. I just bet round numbers all the time, and it's just having consistency of approach, consistency of execution, and understanding that you cannot win all the time, and you're going to bob up and down for fairly long periods, and then you're going to take off, and then you're going to drip down a bit. There is no manual to teach you, so I just try and show you different things, and I hope that it's effective and people pick things off. And when you hear Imre's story and Mark Manfield's story and Kevin Kelly and Mark's doing okay, you get people who get it and just do it and go, actually, I'm getting somewhere. I'm going to stop that there. give you me, because I'll be off when we get to half time with this, and leave you all to your roasties and whatever else it is you're doing. Your absolute last final chance to like and subscribe. This is your last chance. I genuinely don't even know what it does. I mean, I have absolutely no idea. Paderborn off the Thorner. Fenerbahce took the lead. Till the president runs on the pitch and lumps the referee for something. Ian, on the Hertha game, did I start dripping on the... No, because I was in that first half market. I wouldn't have touched the 2.5 until half time. I'm not one for being... I don't like being in a load of games at the same time. Oh, look at that. Get in there, you absolute fucking Mac beauties. Oi, oi, oi. I told you I'd given up on it. I don't like being in a load of markets at the same time, Chris. So I'm in the first half. First half, 1.5, 0.5 cover. I'm not getting in the... If it had been 0-0, that's when I would look at the other markets. I'm not one who likes to have 82 bets going at the same time. I kind of tend to bet now, you know, compared to what I used to, I tend to try and bet, well, I do bet more money and a bit less volume. I'm not a massive action man, you know. I always say, you know, patience isn't inaction, it's just being patient and waiting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Hertha won, Fortuna Dusseldorf won. I walked you right through that from start to finish. I cannot do any more, genuinely. I'll try and do all I can for you. I'm just a short little fat thing trying to do all he can. Help me, mum. And you look at that there, green. We didn't get in that, so I just grey stuff out that I don't use. That one we missed, so it didn't matter. There was a first half goal, but we didn't get in that because I wasn't in time. So in effect, across that lot, if you can't win, and okay, so if we lose at Magdeburg, but we're still in the game and we've got it. But if we lose, we lose. But across the lot, I've walked you through it. I can't do any more. And it would have been exactly the same had those games all got the 0-0 at half time. But if you played the numbers, as Gary Player said, the more you practice, the luckier you'll get. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've had a lovely afternoon. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for liking. I don't know whether there's midweek football. If there is, I will be popping in. If not, then I will be back next weekend. And we'll look at a couple of different ways. I want to do some under stuff, and I want to do some late goal stuff. But if anything people want to see, do email in. We just put it on the list. You know, I'm not saying I'll do it next week, but we'll put it on the list and try and get through as much as we can for you. All right, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you soon.